Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Porch. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, a little late on this. Another race tomorrow afternoon, so we'll get it up. NASCAR Cup Series, Goodyear 400 preview. This is the 124th race at Darlington. Too Tough to Tame, the Lady in Black. Been going there since 1950. NASCAR has one of the great tracks of all time. The very first track over a mile on NASCAR schedule was right here at Darlington. 400.238 miles, 293 laps, 90, 95, and 108 are the stage lengths. The last 20 races, we've had at least 6 cautions, except in 2013 and we had 5. The last 15 races, 8 wins by Toyota, 3 by Chevy, 4 by Ford. In 2022, we had a tremendous finish there. Joey Logano, William Byron wouldn't think so. We've had a lot of finishes like that lately. We had the Cup Series last week with Denny and Kyle Larson, and we had a similar finish today actually with the Xfinity cars with Kyle Larson in the 10 colored car and John Hunter Nemechek. Stay tuned for a video on that as well. So last year, William Byron won, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano won the spring race, and Eric Jones won the Southern 500. So those 2 races, Logano averaged at 2.5 with that win. Tyler Reddick 2.5. Second and the third. Christopher Bell 5.5. Michael McDowell 6.5. William Byron 10.5. Justin Haley 11. Eric Almirola 11. Denny Hamlin 11.5. Austin Dillon 13.0. Eric Jones 13.0 to win. Tyler Reddick, we know he had his crew chief kicked off the property today. He failed pre-race inspection twice and on the third attempt passed. There is talk of possibly some type of penalty coming out early next week. We don't know what yet. I haven't seen anything online exactly what the issue was. The 54 Ty Gibbs had the same issue or a similar issue. They lost their car chief. Everyone's drastically going, it's same as Hendrick. No. When Hendrick had the louvers taken away, there was nobody suspended or nobody removed from the track. So this is something different. We've seen this before when cars fail inspection. They they leave the property of whoever they felt was responsible. Car chiefs, engineers, etc. The fact that they did the crew chief, that's kind of unique in itself. Doesn't mean there's going to be suspension. I don't mean there's going to be a big penalty come Tuesday. We'll find out, but right now it's too early to tell what's exactly going on there. I hate everyone jumping to conclusions. We just don't know yet. And the intermediate tracks, which is Darlington's 1.336 mile, it's kind of in the same size-wise as Nashville, a little bit, just a snip bigger than Gateway Worldwide Technology, which is 1.25. This is 1.336. Nashville is 1.33, but they're all completely different. Gateway is flat. This has got 25-degree banking. Nashville is flat. This is an egg-shaped. So Darlington's way is kind of its own league, but yet it's in the intermediate category. What I'm looking at especially when I set up my fantasy team is what they did at Darlington last year, what they did on the intermediate, and then what they've done at high tire wear tracks. And the reason I threw the high tire wear in, talking about California, Darlington, and Homestead, is you gotta take care of your tires. You can't necessarily always get tires every caution, because if you have a caution like 5 laps, you're running out of tires, even though you want them. You got to conserve them. You got to understand how to protect those tires and keep those tires under you for the duration of the tire run. On the intermediate tracks, Denny Hamlin 9.93 with 2 wins. This is last year and this year. Kyle Larson 10.07 in a win. Logano 10.71 in 3 wins. Ross Chastain 10.93. A.J. Allmendinger 12.17, Mark Truex Jr. 12.79, William Byron 13 with a win, Christopher Bell 13.93, Austin Dillon 14.0, Ryan Blaney 14.71. On those 5 races with high tire wear, Joey Logano 7.6, Austin Dillon 8.2, Daniel Suarez 9.2, Denny Hamlin 10.2. Kevin Harvick 11.4, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 13.4, Eric Jones and Michael McDowell both 15.6, Kyle Larson, 15.8. McDowell averaged 6.5 at Darlington last year. And Brad Keselowski, 16.0, and Kyle Larson, 15.8. Now, we're going to take a look at the points, then we'll get to the picks and stuff. Before I go over the points, we have two different drivers in Rick Ware Racing this week. We have, first off, in the 48 for Alex Bowman, we still have Josh Berry. We found out that Josh Berry wasn't guaranteed a spot in the All-Star race next week due to the fact that he hasn't won and he's not getting Alex Bowman's guaranteed spot. He has to go through the Winston Open or the All-Star Open. That's normal protocol with the All-Star race. And some guy called in to Dave Moody on Friday, was comparing it to the Clash from years ago. Yeah, people, the Clash was different. So the All-Star race, if you win, you're in the main event, or you qualify through the Open. The Busch Clash, if you want a pole, or you previous one of the Clash, whatever the other one is, but if you drove, let's just use an example of people of this year, the old Clash rules, but with modern day stuff. So Kyle Busch wins the pole in the 8 car. In the previous years, before we started doing Coliseum, when the Clash was the pole winners only, if Kyle Busch in the 8 car won a pole, and Kyle Busch goes to the 18, sorry, Kyle was in 18 last year. 18 wins a pole, goes to the 8 this year. Ty Gibbs takes over the 18, which is the 54. You have, that's a bad example because there's too many different, okay. We'll go back in time. Darrell Waltrip. He won a pole in the 11 Budweiser car. Went to Henry Motorsports in the 17. Darrell Waltrip made the Busch Clash in the 17. Terry Labonte, who was in the 11, was in the Clash because the 11 made the Clash. If whatever car Terry was in the year before was in the Clash, that car would have been in. It was the car and the driver. The All-Star race is just the driver. So points right now, Ross Chastain leading the points. People hate that. Here's the thing to remember with that and why that's important right now. Because I talked about on the morning drive, they talked about points wasn't important right now. Here's the thing why that's important. If you win the regular season championship, even if you have 0 wins, you're in the playoffs. Regular season champion makes the playoffs no matter what. There could be 16 different winners and a regular season champion who does not win a race. The regular season champion is in. The person that was 16th in points of those 16 different winners is out. So that is also always a possibility if Ross Chastain continues running well and wins the regular season title and does not win a race. So right now we have Kyle Larson with 2 wins, William Byron with 2 wins, Kyle Busch with 2 wins, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, Ricky Stenhouse, each with 1. Not quite halfway through this race at Darlington will be halfway through the regular season. We have Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, Daniel Suarez, and Chase Briscoe in the playoffs. Outside the playoffs looking in, Bubba Wallace, Ty Gibbs, Michael McDowell, Austin Cindric, Corey LaJoie. Now remember, technically right now, Alex Bowman is in the top 16. We don't know how many more races he's going to miss. We don't even know for sure if he's missing the All-Star race. I'm assuming he will. But, so he could stay in the top 16 or he could fall out. More than likely he'll get a waiver. Like, the waivers are pretty much like candy. He'll get his waiver. That means when he comes back, he either has to be in the top 16 in points and or win a race to be playoff eligible. Same way with Chase Elliott. If Chase Elliott goes out and wins at Darlington, he's in the playoffs. Now, we have, like I said earlier, 2 different drivers for Rick Ware Racing. And in the 15, we have Brendan Poole. In the 51, we have Ryan Newman. Yes, Ryan Newman was named one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers. I disagree with that. And I did a video and told you why I disagree with that. Something else he said this week that kind of set me the wrong way. He goes on social media and says these cars aren't safe. He doesn't feel safe racing these cars on a track larger than this. Excuse me? You're saying these cars aren't safe. You're saying you don't feel comfortable racing in a next-gen car and above a mile and 3/4, mile and a third track. then why in the hell are you even racing? If that's your thought, don't even come back. I don't want you to come back. I was never a fan to start out with. That made me even worse of a fan of yours. I'm not a fan of Rick Ware. I don't want to see him do bad. In this case, I do. 5 starts Ryan Newman has in that 51. I sure hope he finishes outside the top 30 in all of them. I hope he crashes out of all of them. Anyway, for my picks. We got 4 picks here. We got Joey Logano. We got Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones, Bubba Wallace. My fantasy team, I am in multiple different fantasy leagues. The main one I look at all of them, but the main one is the TMD League there in NASCAR Fantasy Live. Rob Sports Show, I'm currently 1,845th out of 4,124th with 1,988 points. Last week I was 14th for just for Kansas, so I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm playing, like I said, Kyle Larson, Joe Logano, Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, and Mark Truex Jr., and I will have Eric Jones in my garage. On a couple of the other ones I have, let's pull my main page up here. I'm in a total of 5 different leagues on there. I'm in the Motor Mouse League. I'm ranked 45 at 54. I'm in Fantasy Fastlane, 1,323. I'm in Fantasy Racing Preview, ranked 678, and then Fantasy Fillers League, I'm like 38th. Rob Sports Show, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So yeah, definitely getting a little bit better with this. I'm looking at my different categories here and stuff. And we had qualifying today. Normally I do these way before qualifying, so we actually have qualifying. Take a look at the qualifying results. And no, I had most of this written out before qualifying, so qualifying didn't really affect my picks. So we got Mark Truex on the pole, Bubba Wallace, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., William Byron, Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Brad Keselowski is the top 10. Brennan Poole, BJ McLeod, Corey LaJoy, Ty Dillon, Ryan Preece, Chase Briscoe, AJ Allmendinger the bottom. Ryan Newman qualified 26. So it looks like we got a pretty, Legacy Motor Club's 28, 29th. Kind of scares me with my Eric Jones pick. But hey, Bubba's sitting second, so that helps me. He actually ran well. He had the top 10 finish here last year in 23:11. It seems like their intermediate program, the mile-and-a-half program, has just been so much better here lately. He's got 2 fourth-place finishes at the mile-and-a-halves this year at Vegas and Kansas, so look for good things there. But that is the Goodyear 400. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.